Okay, so today we will see how to create a material first. As you know, like we are going to create a material inside the property module. So first you have to enter into your property module. By default, it would be with the part module. You have to go into your property module. Inside the property module, the very first thing it's called create a material and all. So or else you can just go create material. Under material, you can go to create also. But these options also will keep changing you when you are just keep changing these modules and all. Now, once you are into the part module, see here you can't see the material options. But when you are into a property module, you can see a material options over there. So as long as when you go for a step, like you can't see all the other modules and all that. So which are related to that particular things only, you can able to see either in the utility menu or to the icons or whatever it may be. So that's why the module selection is very important. So go click on this property module over here. Inside the property module, you have to create your first material and all. As of now, this is my fresh thing. I didn't have anything. See this? There is a no libraries, nothing, no materials inside my things, nothing is there. So the very first material I would like to create this one. So I'll just click on this, create a material. So now I'll just go this like as an aluminum as my material. Aluminum 6030 is my series. Okay, so once I click on this aluminum 6030, or like for your better understanding, you can just keep it as AL 6030 also. And if you would like to add any kind of a description, so let's say like I have gone here, like let me go. Let me go like aluminum 6030 mechanical properties. I just click on this now 6060 composition spec from MATLAB that I got some material information. So maybe I can see, okay, categories of 600 series or something, or else, so it has given a hint of MATLAB, right? So it's a matweb.com. I can go. I can just type this as a 6030. So like this is one of your material websites that which will help you to search for any kind of a material. So MatWeb is one of the material websites that helps you to search for any kind of a materials and all. Start from. So now I just need actually aluminum, right? So I will just keep it as AL. If it is there, it can show me the list of this. Okay. So then I should go for an exact grade to search for this, or you can just name it as a source over here also. Like you can just keep this like MatWeb. Like you can go click on this button and then you can type it as like matweb.com. So I have captured this particular material information from matweb.com, saying that let's go for a density. So in the density, that what I would like to give it. So you can just go like density of aluminum 6030. You can see this, it's at 2.69 gram per cubic centimeters. So you have to convert this 2.69 gram per cubic centimeter to turns per an mm cube if you are working in mm. If you are working in mm. So let's say I'm just going here. So it is the value before is 2.69. I can just say it's 2.69 e to the power of minus 9 turns per mm cube. Then after feeding up this density, again you have to tell like what is the stiffness of this. That is the Young's modulus. As per the Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to the strain, right? So I just need to feed this Young's modulus over here. So what is the Young's modulus I need to define? So just go here for mechanical elasticity. You have to go for mechanical elasticity and click on this option called as an elastic. Click on this option called as an elastic. If you go for a hyperelastic, this was it represents you for rubber materials. Hyperfoam is nothing but it's a kind of a foam material that which used for cushioning purpose, those kind of things. Low density foam, again, it's one of the other family of a foam. hypoelastic. It is a kind of elastoplastic materials. It's plastic in nature, having a large amount of ductility in conditions and all that. And it's a porous elastic materials like duster, sponge, those kind of things that we can able to define with this. And viscoelastic materials is the one that we use to do this for defining in your pavement analysis to lay up the first layer of this tar that when we are trying to keep while laying up the roads, right? So to define those kind of materials, we'll use a viscoelastic. So the basic algorithm here we use is called as an elastic material. So you have to go for mechanical elasticity and click on this elastic over here. So once you click on this an elastic, then it may ask you like elastic, which type you want to go. Whether you want to go isotropic, engineering constraints, laminate, orthotropic, anisotropic, traction, coupled tractions, or shear. So by default now today we are just going with an isotropic as a materials. If it's a composite kind of a things which goes like in individual layer wise, like you are going not with a weaving technique or the manufacturing technique, that if you go to manufacture that is like a layout technique, then you can use an lamina option over there. So orthotropic is there and anisotropic it is there. There are the two different behaviors of your materials. So I'm just going with an isotropic, where in all the directions the forces are like a homogeneous in nature. So after selecting this, if you would like to incorporate any kind of particular temperature value, use this temperature dependent data. So in the temperature dependent data, you have to use your Young's modulus with that particular temperature, Poisson's ratio at that particular temperature, and what is the temperature value. So, okay, so you have to define these particular values. And all these particular values you have to feed in terms of like a Newton per mm square, because all my geometry I'm doing it in mm, right? So I have to feed everything into as per that particular concern unit. So in the last classes also we have seen, and I have shared you this particular link also. Like if you just go search here for Abacus units, and Abacus units, if you go for the images, you can see some of the best images here. Like even this you can choose. Yeah, this is the one normally I used to follow, which gives you perfect things and all. So it's like in mm, force you are applying in newtons, and mass you have to give it in terms of tons, that is 10 cube kg, and time is in seconds, and stress is an MPa, that is Newton per mm square, energy is in millijoules, and density is in ton per mm cube. So here my Young's modulus units are nothing but it's a stiffness, it's a force over area. So it's Newton per mm square. So I have to feed this in terms of like an MPa and Poisson's ratio, and it's a temperature values. So as initially, if it's a 23 degrees centigrade, it's having a one value. As long as temperature changes to something around some 25 degrees, the values will change. Like this, you can able to add upon your values just by giving an enter. Extra row will be an added for all those things. So how well, if your geometry is like your problem is concerned about the thermal aspects also, then you have to incorporate this particular temperature into your picture. And if you are considering about the thermal aspects, then you should have all the related thermal informations, like at the different temperatures, what is the value of this particular sheet, also value of this particular Young's modulus, that I should know in clear it. If it is not, then there is a you may feel some difficulties in solving this. Like an example that I'm just going here, like let me go up to like matweb.com only. So like here it supports to all the things, even like it supports for all simulation, similar workbench. So it's a Dassault System SolidWorks it supports, that means it supports for everything. So now you can just go here. I would like to search for this like aluminum. We apologize for asking application error. Normally it should work, guys. Okay. Aluminum 6030 data sheet. I can type it as a data sheet PDF. So I just want to see this. This is what the data sheet that is available. This is an AL6030. Okay, it's a high temperature shield power indicator. Anything, just for a sample, I'm just showing you this. Not this one.
Sir, sir,
Hello, yes.
sir, Ashish and Ramesh have network problems, so they will get into the meeting after they getting the network.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine.
Okay, sir. Anyway, it is okay, sir. It is recording. So they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any doubt, they
Anyways,
will
we
ask.
will be sharing this recording also, right? So no issues on that. See, this
Okay.
is where normally the tables, it would be coming up like this. About to an ambient temperature in degrees centigrade versus your density values it will show. So from that particular values that we can able to capture all the informations and then we can able to show up these things. This is how actually it works. Huh? As my system is not fully up, so I could not able to bring any kind of things. Yeah. Yes, I mean aluminum data sheets. Yeah, 6082 T6. Okay. So it's a tempering 6 value. Categories, it's view data. So this is how actually you can able to see the complete information and all. If you would like to download this as a PDF, okay, to our registered users, I have not registered in this machine, right? Shushan. So this is how actually you can able to see all the informations and all with respect to that particular temperatures and foreign degree centigrade, how actually the behaviors, everything in a detailed data sheet that we need to get it. Okay. So what we can do here, I'll just go here. I'll just pass on this information. Now this is not a temperature dependent, it's just simply an isotropic. Now for the Young's modulus, normally it might be around like 70 GPa or 68 GPa. So around the 68,000 Newton per mm square. If you convert the 68 GPa, then it would be like this. So if you just see this, GPa to Newton per mm square. Can you hear me right, Dennis? Dennis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. So my Wi-Fi also got switched off. Now I'm using my mobile net. Till then it survives it, we can do. Okay. So it's like a GPa to Newton per mm square. So now it's like 70 GPa I can call. This is 70,000 Newton per square millimeter. So it's a 68 GPa means it's a 68,000. And then that's a Poisson's ratio. It's normally for aluminum, it's around like 0.3. Like this, you can able to feed these values and all. Viscoelastic is not there. So like you can feed the density. You have fed like the Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio. And still again that you have to feed one more thing that's called your true ultimate stress and ultimate strain, everything that you need to feed. Okay, so how we are going to feed those particular things that we
There like two no compression, no tension. They are asking why it is like showing in this tab bar.
Which one? Yeah.
Oh, on this tab they are showing like no
No,
compression,
no.
no
This is
tension.
while testing the things and all, whether you have how you have tested those particular specimens particularly. So in those particular cases only, you can use these options and you can use the sub options and all. As long as we don't know the complete knowledge on physical testing of that particular specimen, you always try to use type isotropic, Young's modulus, and Poisson's ratio. That's more than sufficient. Okay? And if anything like a more number of field variables that you want to use, you can able to use. That's where like
Okay.
you can assume your field that is like cross sections of your geometry or some other own temperature values that if you have anything just for your reference that you can able to use this.
That is only for reference purpose, right, sir?
Yeah, this is only for your reference purpose, so not to use anything. These things will be related with this fail stress and fail strain that when you are trying to do this one. But that much in detail, it is not required for you. Okay, so we are not going on that particular detail. Not only in any of the projects we won't go. It's mechanical, elastic. You could just go for an elastic, and this is 70,000. You just keep 70,000 MPa and pop. Sorry guys, 70,000 and it is 0.3 that you can keep it. So just give OK for this. So now this particular material, it has been created. Now you can see this, it's a material manager. Aluminum 6030 is a material that which we have created it. So now actually I have created this particular material. Now when I close this in Abacus and try to reopen this, I can't use that particular material in any of my other projects and all. But now I should make sure that my created material should save in my database so that I can able to use that particular things for any of our other purposes also. So for that particular cases, what you have to do is, after creating this particular material, you just go and click on this material library. So just give a click on this material library. After clicking on material library, and the name actually it shows you like any list of databases it is there. I don't have any databases list over here. Simply I can just go and create a new material there. So just click on this one. So now click on this one. Now I would like to create a new one. So click on this, create, and then it's a home or it's a current. So I have to go for it's a home, not only for this particular current project. I have to do it for all the projects. So I'll just clicking on it's a home. I can just name it as material info. But the material info is one of my database that I'm creating it. So just give OK. After clicking on this, now selecting this aluminum 6030, it is already there, right? So here, whatever the materials you have in your present project, all the list that's going to show over here. You just select this particular material and click on this move button. So then automatically under material info, aluminum 6030 material, it is already added. So now save the changes, now dismiss this. So now you can see this, it's aluminum 30. Here you can see these particular materials and all. Now I'm just trying to close this, guys. I'm not saving anything, see this. I'm just simply trying to close this one. Now I will try to reopen this again. So after reopening this, directly I'm just going to your property module. Now in the property module, directly I can click on my material library. Now material info is the database that I created it. And inside this, aluminum 6030 is my material available. But when I just click on here, like in the material manager, I didn't have any material. Now, whatever it is there in the database that I would like to call it to present project, so I can able to use it, right? So to call on to the present project, that what I can do, select this aluminum 6030 and click on this option, add material to your current model. So now actually you can see a message over here that material 6030 has been copied to the current model. Now, if you just click on this particular material manager, you can able to see these particular materials. Okay.
Okay,
So like
sir.
this, you can able to create like n number of materials. No need to create all the times. Once if you create it, that's more than sufficient. So that's why you spend good enough amount of a time to create a material and save in your library. So from next time onwards, directly you can able to use this particular material. So now you got an idea how to create a material, how to save that particular material into our database, and whenever it required it, how to call to your current project. Is that clear?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay. Now, along to
So
this,
we are only now we are only dealing with the elastic property, right, sir?
yes, yes, yes.
Elastic property
Yeah.
and
Now
Young's
I will
modulus
take
and
you to the
Poisson.
plastic. Now I will take you to the plastic also. Okay. So now, what happened is like for this particular module of 16030, now I have done this one. Now I would like to consider this as an elastic, all those things. Now I feel this, I want to go with like a plastic material properties also to be an added for this one. So to be an added for plastic calculations, that what you can do is, that's where I'm just trying to get one data sheet of this. Or yeah, aluminum data, aluminum 6061, something like we can just copy that particular data sheet. Okay. No, this information is not sufficient. Mm, aluminum 6061. Okay, these are all the sheets that which sheet is available without any kind of stress strain data curves and all. Okay, aluminum 6061 stress strain data. Yeah, like actually you can see these kind of a curves actually for any kind of an aluminum. This was like actually you can see it's an engineering stress versus an engineering strain. You have to convert those particular informations and then you have to feed those particular data to you. Now this is for aluminum 6061 T6 for all simulations are properly used for maybe for different specimens and all. Now let me click on this. Now I have these particular curve actually. Okay, so maybe in my data sheets or somewhere else I got the similar kind of a curve. So you have to do a lot of survey, guys. But for you, for 30 days or 5 logins, I think you'll get this account. So total material. You just try on this total material. Okay, this gives you the best materials already available with complete informations, but you can log with one Gmail account, you can able to log in only for 5 times. As of now, my account got expired. I need to create a new one, but you can go like click on try new, and then you can feed all your informations, or like even with your college email ID also, you can able to create it. There would be some limitations, but you can able to see all these things. So let me go on this and I will share this information with you. So in the chat window to everyone, I'm just pasting this link, guys. So try to register for this for tomorrow's session so we can use the materials from that. So we have 3 students, right? So 5 3 is 15 logins, 15 times we can able to log in and we can collect all the best informations related to your project and then we can use that one. Okay. So some like that you can able to do this. Now I'm just going for this. I have these particular curve, sorry. I have these particular curve. Let me save this image. I'm just saving this image and I would like to save it on my desktop. Okay, now it has been saved it. So now if I just go to my desktop, this is what my stress strain curves that I have it. So now what I can do is, I just need it like now I just have this. I just have this particular image. Now this is what my strain values in percentages and true stress in MPa. Now I'd like to capture this at 50. What is the value? It's quite difficult to understand from an image actually. So now I'll teach you a way how to minimize that. So now go here. It's called as an. Click on this in your web digitizer. So just go for this called as a web digitizer, web plot digitizer. So just click on this web plot digitizer. This is the link. Yeah. Now after going this, like you can just go on this. I can give you this chart also. So directly you can use this link. Okay. So after going this, right click on this or like you can click here for load image, choose the files. And this is on the desktop. This particular file I would like to save. Align this on axis, proceed. Now X1 that I know, so you're picking up right at the top also you can see it guys on the top right where exactly I'm picking it, it shows me that. Now this is an X2 value also I just need to feed. And similarly I can feed my Y1 value and then I can feed my Y2 value. Okay, once after this thing is completed, you just click on this complete. Next it is it may ask you like what is the next value. X value is 0.05 and then it may ask you like what is the Y value like a X2 value. X2 value is 0.15 and Y value I have taken it as a 50 and Y2 value I have taken it as like a 350. So just give OK for this. After giving an OK, now it will ask you to pick up the points and all. So now I'm just picking up the points here. So now this is on the blue line or on the red line or on the dotted line, that whichever you want it, you can able to pick the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So similarly, or of values that I have picked up. So now, after picking up these particular things and all, now you can see this one. Okay. View data. You just go after picking up all these particular points at the right hand side that you can see an options called as in view data. Just click on this particular view data and the number of digits that you wanted is only like a 2 digits. You can just click on this one. Okay, so like if you would like to go for this particular things and all, so format is separation with a comma, so that any Python code also will help you to make this as a 2 different columns. Now you can just go and download this as a CSV file because this is separated with commas, right? So it's a CSV file. So download as a CSV file. Now just go here and try to open this one. I'll try to open this particular CSV file.
So can you please share that website link also?
I've shared it, right? Okay, now you see this, guys. So, okay, sorry for all those things because this is. Now see this, you just neglect this anyways, it's a negative point that we have selected it somewhere else. So you can consider this, my strain is around like 0.002 or something, that I can copy up all these particular values. I can copy up all these particular values. These are my strain values. I'm just copying it. Go here, mechanical, plasticity, plastic, and then I can paste all my strain values over here. All my strain values over here. Anyways, the very first strain, always I would like to follow it as 0. So I can just make it as 0. The very first strain, I would like to make this as a 0. And then I need to go for my stress values also. I can just copy up these particular stress values. And then I can just go here and paste all these things and all. Just give OK for this. Now see this one, all this particular curve information that which even if you have seen this image in a textbook also, that's fine. You just capture an image, that's more than sufficient. You have a mobile, you just capture it, bring down that to your PC using this web plot digitizer. So in the chat window, it is, I have shared you this link. So using this particular link, you can able to click on this. Once you click on this, then on this particular things, you have to open up your image and then you can choose up those values and you can see this one. See here, digits, I have kept it as a 2. That's the reason I can see. Okay. Still it is showing me as a 4 digits, but still I can able to modify those things also. But this is a very best link that gives you a simplified information. So you no need to break your heads and all. And later on, if you would like to, if in your textbooks that you have seen, it's called as an engineering strain and engineering stress. It's not the true stress and true strain values. You have to convert them again. So again, for conversions also, you know this particular formulas, right? So true stress. So when you just want it as like normally the true stress is equals to the engineering stress multiplied with 1 plus engineering strain. That is what the formula for true stress, and true strain is equals to your logarithmic function of 1 plus engineering strain. So those things that gives you that. So true stress and true strain formula you can type. True stress formula. So that's give this. True stress and true strain. So just go for those images. So this is where actually your true stress is equals to your engineering stress multiplied with 1 plus your engineering strain, whereas true strain is equals to the logarithmic function of your 1 plus engineering strain values. So from this you can able to see this. Your engineering stress, it looks like this, and true stress, it looks like this. So from this particular curve, you should rely on this, like so you should understand this. This image is talking about like an engineering stress only, though they have mentioned it as a true stress and true strain values. You should not trust because this is not from a verified publisher, right? It is just an image that we captured it just to show up this particular data. Okay, now we have identified this particular plastic is an added. All the plastic informations are an added to this with the yield stress and a plastic strain. So just give OK. After this, that is not updated in my material module, right? So again, you can just go over here and again, you can just click on this one. The new one, it is an added, but you have to make sure that the old one is deleted. Now with the new one, you can just save the changes and dismiss. Like if you want, whether these things have been added or not, you just try to click it on add to material to a current database. Then it shows you an information that material is already an existing. You would like to overwrite it. Yes, I would like to overwrite it. You can see this in this overwrite material. If you see a plastic, then all the information you have. So now I'm just closing this again, guys. So I'm not saving this also. Just to showcase you that, like I'll try to open that one. So now the new material information should be reflected with plastic informations. I'm just clicking on this. Now go to property module, materials. Now this is the one.